So it's been a couple of months since I've actually been able to get the Subi out onto some dirt roads and do some proper exploring. But during those couple of months, I have been really focusing on trying to get all of my gear as organized for the back of my Subaru for my next camping trip. If you watched my last video, you saw how much of a mess the back of my Subaru was with my gear just thrown everywhere. But I told you I was planning on organizing my gear, and that is what we were talking about today. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have followed the White Rabbit down way too many rabbit holes in regards to organization, but I had to come up with a couple of pieces of criteria that would suit my needs the best, so I didn't waste any money in regards to organization. All right, so the criteria is as follows. One, I had to be able to quickly grab my stuff out of my storage locker, throw it in the back of the car, and everything is going to be set up and ready to go. That means not having to get ready the day before with packing everything. Everything is already set up. I don't have to worry about it. I can just quickly grab my stuff and hit the road. Secondly, I needed a well thought out system. The Orgonian camper box that I had worked great on my first trip because that's all I had. The problem with that is that I just basically threw all of my gear into the box. So if I needed something, I'm like digging for it and I'm banging up all of my gear. So what I wanted was a organizational system that I could keep everything very well organized and protect my gear so that it would last longer. Third, I needed to have something that was multi-purpose because if I decided to upgrade my storage into something different, I wanted it to be able to be used for other types of gear like snowboarding, rock climbing, or hiking. And lastly, I didn't want to buy something for the gear that I have now, but I wanted to buy something for all the gear that I knew that I was going to get in the future, because I can't tell you how many times I have gotten organization for something else and then within a month I need more or I needed a bigger box. So this is basically a buy once, cry once kind of a thing, or just add to it. That's kind of where I was wanting to go with this. This is the equipment box from a company called Alcamp. They are a company out of Taiwan. This isn't sponsored by any means. I bought this with my own money. It's a really nice, substantial looking box. You have handles on either side. You have loops on the outside if you wanted to add some carabiners and connect some lights, or if you just wanted to add extra things to the outside, you could do that. On the inside, this is how I've kind of got my stuff laid out. There are dividers. There is an extra divider if you want to have it. It's not just 3, you can have 4. I just didn't need that. We have Velcro inside here to where you're able to kind of adjust your dividers however it is that you need. In the middle, I have my plates, a cup. I also have my cooking ware like my pots and my pans. Now we do have, slide this over here, we have mesh at the top. It's kind of a plastic mesh, which is really nice. I do keep my silverware and stuff like that up here. I don't have like a little kit where I have knives and silverware and all my other utensils yet. I'm going to be buying that, but I'm just going to keep this here for the moment. So if you're wanting extra storage, you can put that here. One issue that I had on my last overlanding trip was the fact that I had all those gas cans behind my driver's seat and I would just hear them clanking around. It drove me nuts. There was this small irrational thought of what happens if one of them hit and they sparked and it just... I know it's stupid, but I decided to put 2 of these in here. They're nice and tight. They're not going to move. It's padded, so I'm not going to hear any clanking. However, I am thinking about buying another one of these boxes strictly for gas canisters, but that is a maybe in the future. And we're going to get to these 2 boxes in just a second. Side note, I am going to leave links to everything down below if you guys are interested, but let's get to these boxes really quick. Now, I've been really getting into building out kits for all of my camping gear over the past couple of months, and this is actually my coffee kit. Now, this box is the medium plain storage box from Alcamp. Obviously, it fits inside of the equipment box, which is really, really nice. It's basically just a smaller version of the equipment box. We have dividers. We have the little Velcro on the side. We also have a mesh pocket here on the top so you can store whatever it is that you want. I have my kettle right here. I have a grinder. I also have my little micro burner and my metal coffee filter. If you are a coffee snob, please don't get mad at me or anything like that. I got this container from Good Food. I washed it 1,000 times and I usually can get about 3, maybe 4 cups of coffee in regards to how many beans I can put in here. But I do plan on getting an airtight container. I just haven't gotten it yet. I have my coffee cup, and I also have a gas canister in here as well. I am a big fan of pour over coffee. I have it every morning out of my Chemex. So being able to have a kit that I can have pour over coffee in the morning while I'm at camp, yeah, this makes me happy. Okay, like I said, this box fits perfectly into the corner of the equipment box. Now, the second box we have is a multi-purpose box, also from Alcamp. Now, it's a lot smaller, and you can store all tiny little knickknacks in it. It has a little mesh pocket, like all the other ones do, and you have multiple dividers for all sorts of stuff. Now, this is just a gas lantern from Fire Maple. I also have like bug coils. I have my fire starter stuff. This is a little bit of some kindling. I have a fire starter and stuff like that. Like I said previously in the video, I wanted to buy something to be able to add stuff to it. I didn't want to just buy for what it is that I had. So I'm planning on buying smaller lights that could probably go inside of the Subaru or maybe around camp. Who knows what else that I could get. Little knickknacks and stuff like that that I would need that I could just fit in here. So this is kind of a really nice little container to have, and it fits right into the equipment box without a problem. Everything zips up and it's nice and packed up and ready to go, and I don't have to worry about it. So let's get on to the next box. For all of my sleeping gear, I bought this North Face Basecamp medium gear box. Now, I wanted to get another Alcamp equipment box, but there was a reason why I didn't. And the reason is this blanket right here. It's completely wool. With the Alcamp box, there's Velcro, and I just did not want to have to deal with all the orange fuzz and stuff like that and the little Velcro bits and bobbles and stuff. So I just basically got the North Face box, which has smooth walls. It does have mesh pockets on the side, which is really nice. But yeah, I could keep this in there. It's not going to shed all over the place, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So everything in this North Face box is for sleeping inside of the Subaru. So obviously I have my blanket, I have my big old massive sleeping bag in here. I do plan on replacing this with a down sleeping bag to make it a little bit smaller so I have more room in here. I have my lamp, I also have my camping pillow. Also, you got like little pouches here on the sides of the corners, so if I wanted to store anything else. The only thing that I keep in here at this moment that doesn't have anything to do with being able to sleep or being inside of the Subaru is my Jetboil 2-burner stove. I can fit this into the Alcamp equipment box. It's just that I have a lot of other loose stuff in there right now, and I'm gonna have to finagle it, but until that time, and I have a little bit more organizational stuff, it's just going to stay in this box. One of the things about this box that I really like is that it actually collapses. So if you live in an apartment like I do and storage is always a problem and you don't plan on keeping all of your gear permanently inside the box, you can flatten it out and it just slides right into a corner or somewhere, and it does not take up a whole lot of room. And the best thing about these boxes, like I previously said in the beginning of this video, is that whenever I'm ready to go home and we're all packed up, you can quickly just throw it into the back of the car. 2 boxes is all I need, and that's it. And guys, that's pretty much about it. So I hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to hit me up in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Get out and enjoy the weekend. Fall is right around the corner, so there's gonna be some beautiful colors outside. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good weekend. Bye.